Yeah, this is kind of wild because I'm so new to TouchDesigner, so thank you so much for having me speak at this. It's crazy. So my name's Lane. I'm a visual artist, and I'm here to talk about my project Afterglow, which was made in collaboration with UK-based hyperpop musician Tiva, who also has a background in folk music. So myself and Tiva met online on Instagram in 2020 during COVID, and they reached out to me for just to do some artwork for them. And we kind of clicked and we're online pen pals, which was really nice to have during that time. And in September 2020, we decided to, as strangers, meet in person for the first time. So with some funding from the Fingal Arts Office, we were able to meet, and I had been an artist in residence in the Courthouse Arts Centre down in Heaney at this point, and they said that we could come down and take over the whole building to just do something. So this was what came out of that first meeting. And what I realised from this was I have a background in 3D animation, 3D modelling, 3D scanning. And what I was doing was I was making videos, I was exporting them, and then I had just like static video files. And then we did a small presentation at the end of that residency. And, Tiva was playing live, was really engaged, and it was just full of life, but I was just kind of pressing play on a couple of videos that were looping. So when we finished our residency, we were like, how could we make this more interesting for the both of us? So that's how I went TouchDesigner, because I found TouchDesigner because I knew that it could facilitate the kind of future vision of our project. So 2 years after that, in September last year, we got some more funding from the Courthouse Arts Centre, and I was like, okay, now that we have a project in mind, I'm going to learn TouchDesigner in 8 days. So what I did was, by process of osmosis and I was sleep hypnosis, watching YouTube tutorials from all these amazing people, I was learning kind of like theory and the language. Like, I'd been used to node-based things from 3D, but I just needed to know the language, know what it was capable of, so that when I got down to Tinahely, we could sort of start putting something together. I also got a little MIDI controller as well, so I had that mapped out as well before I went down, so we kind of just hit the ground running. So I have a script here, and held up a MIDI controller. All that prep meant that... Oops.
Download. No, you stand that way.
So when we got down, after watching all of the videos, I realised that there was a big kind of 3D capability, which is something that I knew I wanted to explore more. So this isn't 3D, but it's the first project that came from a place of playing and experimentation following the residency. I just wanted to work. The thing that I challenged myself with was trying to work quickly, because coming from a 3D background where you had to render things and you're sort of like tweaking things and then going back into projects, rendering them out again, I just wanted to be quick and just like produce something by the end of it. So what I did was I started recording a lot of videos just on my phone, and I brought down a laser pointer and a UV torch with me, and a vape, and we went on some walks at night, and using the vape, using the laser pointer, using the UV torch, we recorded a couple of videos. So I'll just show you one of the again, this is super simple and it's probably painfully basic, but I learned so much from this process. So, sorry. Needs to load. Love that for me. Okay, that is. Try one more time. So this is just some footage from the UV torch. I brought it into TouchDesigner and just made a really simple video player where I could just switch between it and then switch between that and the laser pen. So super simple. And then I just threw some feedback on it and I could just cycle through it. This blew my mind. I know it's super basic, but it blew my mind. Having something that was so simple, so quick to do, just had the idea, just put it in 20 minutes. I was like, okay, that's a project, on to the next thing. So that's that project. And then we have another one that I'm going to share, which is based more on my 3D background. So I knew that I wanted to explore the 3D capabilities of TouchDesigner. And I work a lot with I'm gonna cooperate. There. Yeah, so I have a lot of 3D scans. So I just brought them in and started playing around with things like the camera angle, adding some gloopy bits. Yeah, I have that. Like, this was amazing for me because I was like, this is 3D that I'm manipulating in real time and it's just showing up. What? And then I was able to control things like color, inverts, and again, totally new to me, but by the end of it, I was able to, through listening to Tiva's music, I was able to kind of build up sort of a narrative, I guess, and yeah, it was wild. So one of the challenges that I had was the technical integration between Tiva's Ableton program and TouchDesigner. So in my research, I knew you could integrate them together, but kind of forgot that we were working on two different machines. And I don't have any audio background at all. So instead, what I had to do was have Tiva export the files, me just listen to them on repeat constantly to try and figure out what the movement and flow of the piece was so that I could kind of figure out the flow of the visuals towards it. So we rehearsed it loads and then we were able to present it at the Wicklow Artist Salon, and we had this was our setup, we're very cute. So just a simple setup with projectors and screens. I just used a regular video wall splitter for this. And we presented it at the Wicklow Artist Salon. And then later that night we had a smaller performance, which Terence White recorded and took photos for us. But we know that we want to make this more immersive, so I am looking at maybe doing something with lighting design, fabrics, and set design, and figuring out how to maybe what the spatial audience experience might be like for it. And that is 10 minutes.